With monotheistic totalitarianism, you can't. Death brings no release. Death, in fact, only intensifies the contradiction. So, I know atheists who say, I wish I had faith. I know atheists who say, I wish I still had my faith. I feel nostalgic for my faith. I wish I could believe it, I just can't believe it anymore. My reply is this: who on earth wants this to be true? Who wants this terrible sadomasochistic relationship with an ultimate authority to be the case? At the beginning of emancipation from humanity's oldest enemy, that oldest tyrant, is the emancipation that we've all, by ourselves, without fanaticism, without dogmatism, managed calmly and peacefully to achieve and want to share rationally with other people. We mustn't congratulate ourselves too much, but I think we're entitled to a certain amount of self-esteem, if I can share that term with you, for taking this first emancipatory step. And look at the contrast that's afforded with the alternatives. Look around the world and see what the parties of God are doing. Look at what they're doing to, well, where shall we start? Look at what they're doing to Iran, where it's not enough just that parties of God think that all Jews should be killed, all atheists should be killed, all Christians should be killed, all Hindus should be killed. They've got me only twice so far, by the way, in that list. But also that all non-Orthodox Muslims must also be killed, because it doesn't stop, as you may have noticed with religious warfare, with killing the members of the other group. It's always a matter of purifying the members of your own group too, as with the Crusaders destroying Byzantium before they even got to Jerusalem, destroyed Christian Byzantium, and of course, holiday making on the way killed all the Jews they came into contact with as well. Look next door in Iran at the possibility that our ultimate nightmare will finally arrive, that there will arise right before our eyes, our horrified vision, the image of a nuclear-armed theocracy. We will finally have the dreaded coincidence of an apocalyptic creed and a cataclysmic weapon. The leaders of Iran believe that the hidden Imam, the 12th hidden Imam, the tooth fairy of the Shia belief, is about to return, bringing, of course, in his train the reign of universal justice, and they believe that they also have the right to a cataclysmic weaponry. When this coincidence occurs, we will have further interruptions between ourselves and our sleep. If we look just a little nearer to our own shores, to the Holy Land, see what the parties of God, the Christian, the Jewish and the Muslim are doing there, we see that it's almost the classic refutation of the idea that religion, even if it isn't true, as you sometimes hear, might not actually be strictly metaphysically true, but at least it makes people behave better. Now, in the Holy Land, as everybody knows, there are two competing nationalisms, two competing peoples with different, discrepant claims to the same land. To most people, it seemed for quite a long time that, as with previous clashes of nationalism, it might be a good idea to, as it were, share it out, have one state each, half and half, something roughly along those lines. That's the official position of PLO. That's the official position of the European Union, with many resolutions of the United Nations. It's the position I found, and I would estimate this, but of at least half the Jewish population of Israel, and probably more than half of the Jewish population of the United States, and the Jewish people as a whole. It's what most people want, and it's common sense, and it cuts with the grain of international law and the international community. And if it was done, we'd all be a lot safer and happier. Why can't it happen? Because there's a veto on it by the parties of God. Because there are rabbis who say there's no way of sharing this. There's no way of sharing this at all, because it's all given to us by God and to no one else. And to the Jewish people only, and in perpetuity and exclusively. And then they are met by equivalent forces among the mullahs and the imams who say, you know, that's exactly right, that's absolutely right, God did give this territory, but not to you. It's to us. It's entirely Islamic territory. This land actually has a religion, it's Islamic land. And then, as if that wasn't enough, because it's never enough with the parties of God, there are the Christian groups who come, usually, largely, I'm sorry to say, from this country, and say to the Jewish people, you must not give an inch. We agree with you, this is biblical territory. And they hope, by using the Jews, to bring on Armageddon, when, if the Jewish people were going to read the small print, they noticed that only about 150,000 of them are going to survive. The rest are going to either be forcibly converted or immolated. So this Christian support is the kind of support, as Lenin used to say, that the rope goes to the hanging man. Well, and then, just to finish my little tour, we have this continuous, unending campaign in our own country to make the stultification of our children official taxpayer-supported policy. That after the science class is over, or even during the science class, nonsense will be taught in the form of creation science, or as it sometimes, what is it now called?
Intelligent design.
Intelligent design. Why don't I call it that? Because I refuse to call it that. If you call it that, ladies and gentlemen, forget it's called that, okay? Thank you for reminding me, but forget it's called that. Don't refer to it under that title. It's half the battle if you start calling it that. It's very clever of them to have got it called that in the first place. We mustn't give them even that concession. We're not going to have, it said, in American schools. Well, that concludes the astronomy period. Now, after a short break, we'll be doing astrology. It'll be chemistry today, and then alchemy tomorrow. No, we're not going to have anything like that. Nor are we going to have this spurious concept of equal time for it. The president himself has said, well, equal time, teach the debate, why not? Well, okay. I'll close on this proposal, and you can take this back to your parishes, ladies and gentlemen, and your constituencies, and anywhere else where it might be tried. Well, it is going to come to a place somewhere near you. Say, very well, how do I know? How do I know about evolution? How do I know I know? Well, I know it because I studied the debate between Thomas Huxley, inventor of the term agnostic, Darwin's great ally, and Bishop Wilberforce, known even to his parishioners as Soapy Sam, at the Oxford University Museum of Natural History in about 1865. We have pretty good accounts of that debate in which Bishop Wilberforce had the floor mopped with his holy self. And I've studied the Scopes trial, the monkey trial in David, Tennessee. I've seen the play, I've seen the film, I've read the Mencken accounts, and I know entirely how that goes. And yes, fine. I've absolutely no objection at all to having those debates taught and those arguments studied and replayed in the school, preferably in the current affairs, or if you like, in the history period. There's absolutely no reason not to do that. But it's not going to be taught any other way. And if it is, and if that proposal isn't dropped, then I have a counter-proposal. That every single religious school and every single religious body and church in this country that gets a tax donation, or any help at all, or tax deduction, excuse me, or any help at all from the faith-based initiative, has to give 50% of its time to teaching evolution by natural selection. I don't know why I'm feeling so genial and fair-minded this morning, but that's my friendly proposal. And I propose that we take it and we stick it right up. All right. Thank you very much for having me. Please buy my book and I'll sign for it.
Thank you, Christopher Hitchens. And now we will bring to the stage my old friend, Babu Gojinetti.
Like a leap of joy.
I'm going to get on this guy. Where?
Leisha?
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Great book.
Thanks a lot.